Hello and welcome back to an episode of Car Hunting Anglesey. Previously I revealed my 1965 Triumph Herald, which I'm sitting in right now, but this isn't my only kind of project. I also do quite a lot of work on stuff that is a little bit smaller. This is where it all happens. This is the Car Hunting Anglesey workshop. In here I do everything from working on motorcycles to car parts to model kits and aeroplanes. This is where all sorts of stuff happens. I also use this place as a sort of informal museum. As you can see from the stuff behind me in this shot, there is all sorts of old crap in here, some of which I will showcase in this video. I will also show that I'm not the only one who collects stuff like this, and in fact there is a strong community here in Anglesey that holds a show every year. First, to get the elephant out of the room, I will explain what this massive pile of parts here in the corner is. Now, surprisingly, this is actually a complete 1981 Honda Melody, which is a 50cc moped. Now, this isn't the only Melody I have another white one outside. But this one is my spares or project. It hasn't run in 25 years, but it is quite a promising little project. Along these shelves we see all sorts of dioramas, models, and even some old glass bottles that I collected. The same is around here, where I have a bunch of small model cars, and up there we have a big Tonka. All of these number plates are cars that either I owned, or my parents owned, or someone I knew. Another item I do like to collect is old radios. Here in total in the shed I have 5 vintage radios, including this old valve radio, this radio here that I got last week, this small FM radio, this larger 1970s medium wave and shortwave radio, and I've got another inside the house as well. Long-time readers of the Car Hunting Anglesey blog will remember my battered Subaru pickup. While I did get quite a lot out of that pickup, it was, well, junk. But one of the things I did end up keeping is this tailgate, which is significant because it's probably the coolest thing I've ever made. Earlier I mentioned that there is a strong community around this kind of collection here in Anglesey. So, last Sunday, I went to a show to find out what this was all about. Here at the Escape Centre in Gairwen, we see my display, which I brought some dioramas, a suitcase, and some of my photography work to display. This show is held once a year, but hasn't been held recently, of course, due to the COVID pandemic, but had a great attendance with people going through all day. Here we start to see some of the variety of the collections, from Lego to tractors to old matchbox cars. Over here we see evidence of Anglesey's love of the lorry, with a lovely display of old working vehicles. Here we also see some model railway vehicles, showcased here on a lovely diorama. And of course some more buses, which are also displayed on a fitting diorama that is very reminiscent of the scenery here in Anglesey. It isn't just land vehicles that we enjoy either. Here we see a model airplane and some big train sets that are always lovely to watch in action. Of course, there are also some brilliant cars on display here. Here we see some 1/43rd scale collections of Evan Evans, of some amazing British classics including Minis, Jaguars and Triumphs. I particularly love this little section here with a Rover P6, Triumph Dolomite and a Herald. We see here from the aerial shot of the show that there really was a great attendance, and people were coming through all day, and even children were loving the displays that were shown. absolutely adore these little dioramas, like this farm over here. They just so perfectly encapsulate the British countryside life. But also I can appreciate these kind of dioramas here as well, that show more war and sinister scenes, and a rather amusing sequence of Mitsubishi Evo. Over here we see some of the most impressive models I have ever seen. Each and every one of these trucks is completely handmade, with every single part needing to be glued together. Very impressive. As was seen in that section, it was a very good show, and a massive congratulations and a thank you to everyone at the Anglesey Models and Collections Society for putting on a great event. This event will of course be held at the same time next year, and there will be a collection section indoors at the Anglesey Vintage Rally later this year as well. So that's about it from me in this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and stay tuned for some exciting content coming soon, as next week I will be doing my compulsory basic training and will be on the road for the first time. Thank you.